Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Vinyltreasure Show. This is Johnny G. Welcome you to the May 21st, 2022 Vinyltreasure Show on this hot, hot day. 81 degrees right now here in Westchester County, New York. Was hot in lots of places. Got up to the 90s here today. I've been in the air conditioning all day today. Actually, it's been a little bit too cool up here as I was preparing for the show this evening. But welcome to the all 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyltreasure Show. Only here on YouTube. If we make it past midnight tonight, we're here from 9 to midnight. We'll be streaming live on Oldies and More Radio. But until that point, we'll be right here on YouTube. Tell your friends. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You get to see all these cool 45s that Johnny G spins every Saturday. We opened up tonight's 50s edition with an instrumental. It's actually an instrumental request for listener Kenny Mack. It's on George Gollner's Gone record label. They're called the Gone All-Stars, featuring saxophonist Buddy Lucas. It was Buddy Lucas from March 1958. The Gigi Walk is the name of the tune, and was a follow-up to a national release by Billboard Top 40 release by the Gone All-Stars called 7-Eleven. And for a short time, this Gone All-Stars, they were the house band for Goldner's Gone record label. But anyway, that one there for Kenny Mack. March 58, the Gone All-Stars on Gone with the Gigi Walk. Well, enough of my babbling here. Let's open up the vocal portion with a flip side from last week's, as I featured the Uniques on the N label, a group out of Port Chester, New York, right up the street from Johnny G. And it was a request for Evan Blatt. He requested the ballad side. It was called Tell the Angels. And Daryl Letts in our YouTube chat room asked Johnny G to flip it over. So we're going to flip it over here. It's a cool up-tempo. It features Arthur Epps on leads. This is for Daryl, February 1958. Here are the Uniques on End. It's called Hey Little Cupid.
Whoa, little Cupid, I need someone to love. Pretty little girl, like the one I'm thinking of. Well, now, pretty little girl, so nice and sweet. That's the kind I like to meet. Whoa, little Cupid, there's work to do. Find me a little girl before you're through. Come on, little man, let's go. Take that arrow and pull the strings. Make my poor heart sing. Hey little Cupid, hey little Cupid, hey little Cupid. Pull the strings, make my poor heart sing.
That's actually the intended A side of that 45 by the Uniques. It's going out to Daryl Letts, February 58 release, George Gollner's End record label for that one. Hey Little Cupid is the name of the tune. We double up with a couple of up tempos before we get to the chronological playing of the 45s, and this is the debut single for this group from Brooklyn, New York. Came out on Ben Smith's Extra record label, features Johnny Marcy on lead. He also wrote the tune. Let's send this one out to Arizona Doo-wopper from 1957. Give a listen to the Young Tones on the Extra label. It's called You I Adore.
love you, you know I do. I miss you, you know it's true. Oh, my darling, for it's you I adore. Please come back, please come back. Oh, my darling, do come back. 'Cause I love you, and it's you I adore. Since you went away, I'm very lonely, lonely night and day. If you love me, you come back, my darling, when you hear me say, while I'm waiting, my love will burn. Please, my darling, please do return. You know, sweetheart, it's only you I adore. Since you went away, I'm very lonely, lonely night and day. If you love me, you come back, my darling, when you hear me say, while I'm waiting, my love will burn. Please, my darling, speed a return. You know, sweetheart, it's only you I adore. Oh, you I adore.
That's the sound of the Young Tones there, going out to Arizona Doo-wop, 1957 release. That is their debut single, Ben Smith's Extra record label. It's called You I Adore, their first of three by them on Extra. Not really easy to find this this first press of this on the Extra label. You can find the large print, which was pressed, I think, 1961, 62. Ben Smith put those out, but it's really hard to find the small print, the first press on that 45. You know, we count down the music chronologically here on the all 50s and early 60s edition. So let's start it off here with this early side, but this quartet at first started recording back in 1948 as the King Odom Quartet. I think on Musiccraft, if I'm not mistaken. Then in 1950 they signed with the Derby label. But here's a request for listener Mike Sape, and he requested the group's very last single. This came out on the Abbey record label. It features David King Odom on lead. We go back to March 1952, way before Johnny G was born, on the Abbey record label for the King Odom 4. This is for Mike. It's called Lucky.
Everybody calls me lucky. I wonder why. People point and say, there goes a lucky guy, but they don't know how much a lucky guy can cry. When she loved me, I was lucky. Then she said we'll have to part. So if you look into the eye of this lucky guy, you'll find a broken heart. lucky guy, you'll find a broken
Now, Sterling's going to say Johnny G got caught here. I really did get caught here, especially with this next record on Sabre. It's got such a long intro. Anyway, there you go. That's going out to Mike Sabre. Excuse me, a real early sound there by the King Odom 4 with the featured David Odom on lead, March 1952 release on the Abbey record label. Song entitled Lucky. And my grandmother used to tell me, Johnny, you're either going to be lucky in cards or lucky in love. I was never lucky in gambling. I don't even know if I was lucky in love. Maybe I thought I was, but now I'm not so sure. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for listener Emnon. He requested the 5 Blue Notes, their first of 2 on Art Sheridan's Sabre record label. It was called My Gal Is Gone, and that featured Andy Magruder on lead for that side. The flip side features a different lead. His name is Fleming Briscoe, and he also wrote the tune from December 1953. Here's a B-side from last week by the 5 Blue Notes, their first of 2 on the Sabre label. Like I said, a lot of these Sabres and Parrots, they have long intros. I don't back cue my 45, so be prepared for some silence on this, but it's a cool up-tempo. The 5 Blue Notes with Ooh Baby.
Ooh, baby, please give me one more chance. Ooh, baby, please give me one more chance. Well, why must we break up our romance? Oh, baby, why did you have to go? Oh, baby, why must you have to go? Oh, I swear.
Called the 5 Blue Notes there, December 1953 on Art Sheridan's Sabre record label. Ooh Baby is the name of that tune. Great two-sided 45. Johnny G here on a hot, it's not even summer yet, on a hot night here in Westchester County, New York. I didn't feel well last night. I couldn't really work on the show. I didn't feel right this morning. I had to take a COVID test. and it came back negative. So I don't think I had that. I think it's allergies really, and I did too much yesterday, and I just came back. I said I can't do this. I went to sleep about 8 o'clock. I didn't get up until after midnight, and I started putzing around with some of the requests today, last night, and then I finished the show today. So anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Up next, a group from Washington, D.C., and it's a request for Mike Sape. This group had 4 releases on the RCA record label. You would think, being on RCA, at least they would have a top rhythm and blues hit, but no, RCA really didn't know what to do with their R&B records, especially on RCA. It was when they created the Groove label that they started to promote those R&B records, but unfortunate for this group, they never had an R&B hit. But Mike requested their second release for RCA. It features Robert Evans on lead. We go back to February 52. I go back a year here for the great Heartbreakers. This is on RCA Records, and their tune called You're So Necessary to Me. This is from Mike.
You're so necessary to me. Can I be necessary to you? When you decide to stay out late, let me be your sad sack to sit and wait. I've made it very plain to see I'm in urgent need of tea. When we shed our love a while, you'll find out that I'll be very necessary to you.
Oh, darling, you're so necessary to me. Can I be necessary to you? When you decide to stay out late, won't you let me be your sad sack to sit and wait? I've made it very plain to see that you're in urgent need of tea.
When we shed our love a while, you'll find out that I'll be very necessary to you.
That's the great sound of the Heartbreakers there on the RCA record label by request for Mike Sape, the Heartbreakers from February 1952, You're So Necessary to Me. And that was their second of 4. I think Mike also said, Johnny, if you don't have that one, you can play any of the records by the Heartbreakers on RCA, and I think Nick Nicola mentioned that also. But so stay tuned for the Heartbreakers here in the upcoming weeks on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We continue here. Let's move up to 1954. And speaking of Mike, last week I played a request for Mike by the Kings on Art Roop's specialty record label, featured Earl King on lead. The song was called What Can I Do? Now, I think it was Nick Nicola asked Johnny G to flip it over. This side also written by the lead singer Earl King. He went under the name of Earl Silas Johnson. So this is going out to Nick Nicola. You saw me change the needle. This plays better with a 78 needle. Believe it or not, I'm going to be playing a later record from 62 on Fortune with a 78 needle. I think that's for a Hoseway. It sounds so much better on a 78 needle. I didn't try this other one coming up for Joe Shacatano. But anyway, let's go back to May 1954. These are the Kings on the specialty label. This is for Nick Nicola. It's called Till I Say We're Done.
I want you to love me, baby. Don't deceive me, 'cause I love you, darling. Please believe me, tell me, honey, every evening till I say waiting for my loving each night and day. Love me fast and love me strong. Love me all night long. Rock me, honey, 'cause I love you so. Thrill me, baby, till I let you go. Squeeze me, honey, yes, it's lots of fun till I say well done. Love, I'll be looking for my loving each night and day. Love me fast and love me strong. Love me all night long. Now rock me, honey, 'cause I love you so. Thrill me, baby, till I let you go. Squeeze me, baby, it's a lot of fun till I say well done. Night, just thrill me, baby, hold me tight, love me, baby, with all your might, till I say well done.
That's going out to Nick Nicola there. Sound of New Orleans there by the Kings. They were originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Those are the Kings from May 1954. Came out on Art Roop's specialty record label. Till I Say We're Done is the name of that one. Johnny G, normally done by midnight, but you know we stay on about 30 minutes longer to get in all the requests, like this next one here. I got an email. Send me your emails at vinyltreasures@aol.com for requests. And when Joe sent me Joe Shacatano requested this next tune, and I was like, well, wait a minute. He's saying that it's by the Stardusters, and I'm like, the Stardusters on Flair, and I'm thinking. Then I saw the name of the tune, and I said, well, wait a minute. It's actually a female lead on this, and so then I figured it out. But anyway, Joe Shacatano requested this singer, songwriter, and actress. Her name is Anna Marie Woolridge, and she was also known professionally as Abby Lincoln. She had releases on Liberty and Riverside and appeared in the 1956 movie The Girl Can't Help It. So you can check it out for her there. But this was her debut single. Came out on the Bahari Brothers Flair record label, and it's a cover of a 1940 standard done by Ted Daffin's Texans. Now, this song, I think, was made famous. I think Les Paul and Mary Ford, they actually made this song famous, and I think Joe Barry also recorded this for Smash Records back in 1961, so people may know that version. But let's give a spin to this version from August of 1954. This is going out to Joe Shacatano. August 54. It's Anne Marie with Blinky Allen and the Stardusters. This is on the Flair record label out of California, and her rendition of the tune, I'm a Fool to Care.
I'm a fool to care when you treat me this way. I know I love you, but what can I do? I'm a fool to care. I'm a fool to cry when you tell me goodbye. You left me so blue when you were untrue. I'm a fool to care.
I know I should lie and call it a day,
but I know I would cry if you went away. I'm a fool to care.
when you don't care for me. So why should I pretend I'll lose in the end? I'm a fool to care. I'm a fool to care when you don't care for me. So why should I pretend I'll lose in the end? I'm a fool to care. I'm a fool to care.
As by request for Joe Shacatano there. Probably a first time here for a lot of the listeners to the Vinyl Treasure Show. I know it's the first time I played it here on the program. Anna Marie. Her name is Anna Marie Woolridge. With Blinky Allen and the Stardusters there from August 1954 on the Flair label, I'm a Fool to Care. Johnny G, not a fool. I always care about the listeners to the Vinyl Treasure Show. I hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Let's continue here with the debut single for the Dells. It's a request for listener Daniel Kubacki in our YouTube chat room, but with their first release, they were not called the Dells. They were called the L-Rays. They auditioned for Leonard Chess and Leonard Chess, and he liked what he heard and decided to record them and release this on the Checker subsidiary. It features Johnny Funches on lead from May 1954. These are the L-Rays, aka the Dells, on the Checker label. It's called Darling, I Know.
Love you so, I want you so, and will never let you go. I'll never let you go. Oh yes, I know.
I know I'm in love with you, and I won't let you go. I know I cry night and day for you, and if our love is all,
darling dear, I know I want you so. I want you so. I will never let you go. I'll never let you go. Oh, I know, love, I know.
I know I pray night and day for you, and dear, I want you so. I know I'm in love with you, for dear, I miss you so.
Darling dear, I know I love you so. I love you so. I won't ever let you go. I'll never let you go. Oh yes, I know.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, the El Rays, a.k.a. the Dells from May 1954. That's on the Checker label. Johnny Funches on lead there, Darling I Know. Then after this release, they walked across the street and they signed with, I don't know if it was across the street, but they signed with Vivian Carter's VJ record label. The rest is history for the great group, the Dells. Let's continue. Here we are in 1954. Here's another flip side from last week. Speaking of Daniel Kubacki, he requested The Counts, a quintet out of Indianapolis, Indiana, featured the B-side to their debut single. It was called I Need You Always, but I couldn't resist not playing the A-side before I filed it away here. And this is their first of 8 on Randy Wood's Dot record label. And this was their biggest hit and actually their only record that charted on the R&B chart. This was a big number 6 Billboard R&B hit for them. It features Chester Brown on lead. We go back to January 54. These are the Counts with a classic on the Dot label. It's called Darling Dear.
Oh, where did you go, darling dear?
Classic there by the Counts. That's their debut single. Randy Wood's record label, Darling Dear, January 1954, released The Great Counts. Let's stay in 1954. We head to Detroit, Michigan with this request for Josue Perez. It's by the Fascinators. They had 2 releases on Monroe Horn's Your Copy record label. Now, unfortunately, the sound quality isn't the greatest, as they recorded these Your Copy Your Copy releases were recorded in the back room of Joe's Records in downtown Detroit. Now, this song was written by second tenor for the group. His name is Jerry Potter, and he's also the lead singer on this. I didn't test it if it sounds. I don't think it has anything to do with being a 78 press. It's just that the sound quality isn't the greatest. And I have 2 nice copies of their 45s on Your Copy, if that sounded right. But anyway, this is by request for Josue, 1954, The Fascinators on Your Copy Records. It's called The Bells of My Heart.
Dong, ding dong, ding ding dong, ding dong, ding ding dong, ding dong, ding dong,
The bells of my heart, they ring a song of love, a song to be heard by all the angels above. The bells of my heart, they tell a story so true, a story of my love for you that fills my heart anew. In all my lonely dreams, I have never felt the way I do. And as I listen, the bells, they seem to say
that you love me too.
well, baby, please let them ring, for they ring a love so divine, a love that will always remain, because they say you're mine. You're mine.
Those are the Fascinators there from 1954. It's on the Your Copy record label. It's called The Bells of My Heart. And I wonder if that plays different with a 78 needle. I'm going to try it real quick. But I still need their... that's going out to Josue Perez, and I still need their single on the Blue Lake record label. Good luck, Johnny G, with finding that. I'll take the 78 if I could. But let me just check something really quick here. If this record plays better with a 78, or at least gives it a little bit more fidelity. You know, sometimes with these early records, they do sound better with the 78. I just got to make sure I remember to change the needle here. So I've been doing this a lot, but let's see how this potentially sounds on it with a 78 needle. Let's see. Let me know if it sounds better.
Dong, ding dong, ding ding dong, ding dong, ding ding dong.
What do you think? I say yes. Only have one, Marvin. Worse? I think you hear his voice better. All right, that's enough of that. But anyway, I don't know. You can check it out. I only have one copy of that other one. Oh, they say no. They like the way the 45 is better. Maybe the 45 needle. There you go. Okay, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And up next, a request for Rick in Philly. Welcome back, Rick in Philly. Isn't it Rick in Florida, though, now? You're not in Philly anymore? Maybe? I don't know. But this group first recorded as the Crystals on the Luna label. You might know their tune. It's called Come to Me, Darling. But they were forced to change their name because of the Crystals recording for the Deluxe label. So they changed their name to the Opals. And I just played a cover of this song. It was last week, I think, by the El Capris on the Bullseye label. I forget who requested that one. Somebody did. Daryl, I think you requested it. But this is Rick requested the original version of this. This is on Bess Berman's Apollo Records. So we go to October 1954 for the Opals. The Opals on Apollo. I'm not going to get caught, Sterling. These are the Opals on Apollo going out to Rick. The original version of Oh, But She Did.
Oh, but you did. Oh, but you did. She did. She did. Met a girl from Georgia. Brought her to the city too. Thought she'd never leave me. Never make me blue. Oh, but she did. Oh, but she did. She did. She did. I bought her all new dresses. On her they look so sweet. Thought she'd never leave me, 'cause love was so complete. Oh, but she did. Oh, but she did. She did. She did. Hey! She used to drink cold soda. Her ideas were just fine. It only lasted a short while, 'cause now she's drinking wine. Oh, but she did. Oh, but she did. She did. She did. I tried to reason with her. It really didn't do no good. She went out with everybody that lived in our neighborhood. Oh, but she did. Oh, but she did. She did. Well, she did. Hey! She used to drink cold sodas. Ideas were just fine. It only lasted a short while, 'cause now she's drinking wine. Oh, but she did. Oh, but she did. She did. Well, she
It didn't mean that man no good.
That's going out to Rick in Philly, really Rick in Florida. Those are the those are the Opals. The Opals there on Apollo record label, on the Best Berman's Apollo record label. That's the original version from October 1954 of Oh But She Did, and it was Daniel Kubacki that requested the El Caprice version on the Bullseye record label. I don't know if I have I don't think this is the Fuzzy label. You know, Fuzzy has a fuzzy bear. I don't know, but it's clear. It looks clear to me. I was trying to find one that looked kind of not clear on the print because they said it came out in 1959, but I don't know. I don't think this is a 59 press. Who am I to judge? Let's continue now. We are in one more 1954, and it's a request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room. Timothy, where are you finding someone that's new to discover the music is finding these cool requests? And as we head back to Chicago, Illinois, this time to Al Benson's Parrot record label for the Great Flamingos. Now, this is their first of 3 on the Parrot label, and it features Solly McElroy on lead. I have 2 copies of, maybe 3 copies of this, not on red vinyl though, but I have a black vinyl. I'll show you that one, but it plays a little bit better than this one, but I want to play my red vinyl copy of this from August 1954. This is by request for Timothy, the Great Flamingos on the Parrot label, and another classic, I guess we'll call it Dream of a Lifetime for Timothy.
You're the dream of a lifetime, too sweet to tell it all in rhyme. You're everything I ever hoped for. Sweetheart, will you be mine? You're the dream of a lifetime, with voice of mission bells that chime, and eyes that glow in sweet surrender, to lips as sweet as wine. Heaven must have sent you, dear, when I was feeling lonely, sad and blue. Won't be my lover, I don't want another. Please believe me, do. You're the dream of a lifetime. You turn the autumn days to spring. With you my life will be complete, dear. My heart will always sing. You're the dream of a lifetime. You turn the autumn days to spring. With you my life would be complete, dear. Wah, 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 wah. My heart will always sing.
That's the great sound of the Flamingos by request for Timothy. in our YouTube chat room there. Sally McElroy on lead. That's their first of three on the Parrot record label. Featured my red vinyl copy. Didn't play bad. Got some ticks at the end there. But in August 1954, the Flamingos on Parrot with Dream of a Lifetime. Let's move into 1955 now. Now, on the May 7th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Royal Jokers. Royal Jokers' first recording as the Serenaders. They were originally the Serenaders prior to recording as the Royal Jokers out of Detroit. Featured the A-side to their first of three on the Atco label. It was called You Tickle Me Baby. It featured Willie Jones on lead, and Willie's also singing on the flip side. It's a song he co-wrote from September 1955. Give a listen to the Royal Jokers on Atco Records. It's called Stay Here.
Lordy, 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 Lordy. Don't leave me, oh blue and lonely. If we should part, dear, it would break my heart. Oh, you're mine, mine alone. Here in my arms, dear, is where you belong. Well, you know that I love you so it would hurt me to see you go. So please, please hear my plea. Don't leave me in misery. I'll stay here. Stay with me where you should be. Can we agree? To see you go. So please, please hear my plea. Don't leave me in misery. Oh, stay here, stay here with me, where you should be. And we agree.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's a great sound by the Royal Jokers. Willie Jones and the Royal Jokers, September 55, released their first of three on the Atco label. Stay Here is the name of the tune. Stay here on a Saturday evening from 9 to midnight right here on YouTube. Tell your friends about the program. You can send me a request at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Be a subscriber. Be my 630th subscriber tonight if you sign on to the subscriber there on YouTube. Let's continue here. We stay in 55 with a request for Tom Shaughnessy, as this singer, pianist, and songwriter, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, had 20 releases on Sid Nathan's King record label. This was his second release. It's a song that he wrote, and the uncredited group backing him up on this are the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are backing him up on this. And the interesting thing about this song is not many R&B tunes feature a harp, but this one does. And this charted. This was a national record for him, but it only made it up to 92 on the Billboard chart. Did a lot better on the Billboard R&B chart. It was a big number 9 record for him. And this record was a big hit in Pittsburgh on WHOD, a number 1 record on WHOD in Pittsburgh. But this is his second release here. This is Bubber Johnson. Bubber Johnson from August 1955 on the King label, going out to Tom Shaughnessy. It's called Come Home.
Come home. Let me tell you how I've missed you so. I didn't want you to go, 'cause I love you so. Come on home, or you'll find you'll miss the love we shared. There's none will ever compare. Darling, please come home. Funny what a quarrel can do after so many thrills. It has wrecked in a moment what has taken us a lifetime to build. Darling, please come home. I'll be happy, dear, if you decide to give love another try. Won't you please come home? Funny what a quarrel can do after so many thrills. Oh yes, it has wrecked in a moment what has taken us a lifetime to build. Please come on home. I'll be happy, dear, if you decide to give love another try. Won't you please come on home?
As by request for Tom Shaughnessy there, that's Bubba Johnson. That's his second release on Sid Nathan's King record label with the uncredited Hurricanes. Yes, Daniel out of New York backing him up there. August 1955 release, song entitled Come Home. Now, it was funny, Tommy, when I was looking for this record, because I didn't see that it was properly filed in its right place. So I said, I have this record. I know I do. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking, and I found it in my, because I got about maybe about 30,000 records that I have to go through, and they're just in boxes by alphabetical order. So I'm looking and I say, oh, here it is. I finally found it. So then Charlene says, Johnny, the record came out in August of 1955. And I said, Charlene, it can't be, because the record I have here is King number 5232. And I said, well, wait a minute, when is this? 5232, that was released in August 59. He recorded this again, so evidently he re-recorded this record. I'm talking about Bubba Johnson. Now, I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same cut, because the matrix numbers are different. And there is does it say chorus on here? It says and chorus. It didn't say that on the second release. So anyway, let's just give a listen to this. You tell me if you want me to leave it on, I'll leave it on. But this is a re-recording of that song, and it's a different matrix number. So I don't know. Whatever the chorus is, they drowned out the Hurricanes in the background. Maybe that's what they wanted. But listen to this version and tell me what you think. Here, for Tom Shaughnessy.
Come home. Come home. Let me tell you how I missed you so. I didn't want you to go, 'cause I love you so.
Miss you, miss you, miss you.
Come on home, or you'll find you'll miss the love we shared. There's none will ever compare. Darling, please come home. Funny what a quarrel can do.
So what do you think? You think they made it more popish? That's what Daryl thinks. They made it a more popish sound. But anyway, there you go. I didn't even realize there were two versions. I don't know, Marvin, if you're going to put that in your book. I don't know if you have that one. It's like a chorus, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a toss-up. Do we consider choruses groups? Not really. But anyway, let's continue here on the final. Yeah, it is more popish. Tried to become a little bit more popish from that, but that's from August 1959 on the King record label. Let's continue here. We are in 1956 now. On last week's Vinyl Treasure show, listener Daniel Kubacki requested the Great Spaniels. He requested their 8th release on Vivian Carter's VJ record label called Dear Heart. This week, Daniel requested the follow-up to Dear Heart, and it's the group's 9th of 20 releases on Vivian Carter's VJ record label, the great Pookie Hudson on lead. We go back to July 1956, the Spaniels on VJ for Daniel. It's called Baby, Come Along With Me.
Baby, come along with me. You'll find that everything is free. Baby, baby, can't you see that you were only meant for me? Baby, come along with me. Oh, baby, I need you so. I'll never ever let you go. Baby, baby, don't you know I love you, love you, love you so. Baby, come along with me.
Hey, hey, baby, let me take your hand and make you understand. Oh, baby, let me take your hand. I won't make you understand. Oh, baby, come along, baby, come along. Baby, come along and make love to me.
So I'll never, never let you go. Baby, baby, don't you know I love you, love you, love you so. Baby, come on along with me. Oh, baby, come along with me. You'll find that everything is free. Baby, baby, can't you see you're only meant for me? Baby, come along with me.
That's the sound of the Spaniels here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Their 9th of 20 on Vivian Carter's VJ record label, Baby Come Along With Me, July 56 release by request for Daniel Kubacki. Let's stay in 56 with a request for listener Mike Sape as we go to Joe Leibowitz's Premium Records out of Linden, New Jersey, for the singer by the name of Arthur Lake. And he's being backed up here by the uncredited Wheels on this song here. The Wheels also recorded for the Premium label. Some of you may know their signature song called My Heart's Desire. And Charlene said to me, Johnny, this sounds a little bit to me like Rudy Anderson of the Wheels. So I listened and I said, wait a minute, because the flip side he does not. On this side, a little bit. But I'm not sure. Who is Arthur Lake? I mean, I don't know anything else about him, but let's give it a spin here. This is for Mike Sape, July 56, Arthur Lake and the uncredited Wheels on the Premium label. It's called May I Count on You.
May I count on you to be faithful. May I count on you to be true. Though I know there were others before me who could not reach your heart, just your mind. When you tell me you love me, I wonder if you mean what you're saying this time. You can count on me, 'cause I love you. Darling, can't you see how much I care? May I count on you to be my one and only, or is this just another affair?
You can count on me, 'cause I love you.
Oh, darling, can't you see how much I care? May I count on you to be my one and only, or is this just another affair?
As going out to Mike Sape there, Arthur Lake from July 56. On the Premium record label there, May I Count on You. That appears to be his only release. I think he's too low. Rudy Anderson has a higher voice. Unless he's singing in a lower voice, I don't know. It could be. You never know with these guys. They sing all different. They can sing depending on how their voice can go. But I don't think it is. But anyway, what do I know? Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And here's one for listener Tom Shaughnessy, as this female lead of this group was discovered by Richard Berry. She was originally from Dallas, Texas, and she was 13 years old when she recorded this tune with her group called The Teens. Her name is Clyde King, and this was her debut single, which came out on the Bahari Brothers RPM record label. We go back to May 1956. This is for Tom Shaughnessy, Little Clyde and the Teens on the RPM label. It's called Oh Me.
Did
love me too, 'cause I'm in love with you. Can't you say that I'm in love with you?
That's 13-year-old Little Clyde King there with the Teens. From May 1956, the Bahari Brothers RPM record label. That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. Oh Me is the name of the tune. Yes, Clyde King, that went on to, I think she recorded for Specialty Records. Got some cool recordings on Specialty. Some other cool Soulful records on Philips. I think I got her on Philips. I got her on other labels as she goes into the 1960s. But stay tuned for the flip side next week. And let's continue here. Now, last week I played a request for Kenny Mack. He requested the 5 Crowns on David Miller's Transworld record label. Well, not on Transworld, because I could have played it on the Caravan label. But I featured Transworld. The song was called Popcorn Willie. Featured Wilbur Yankee Paul on lead. It was listener Darrell Letts. Said, Johnny G, can you play the flip side of this? It's an excellent ballad. So we're going to send this one out to Darrell Letts. I think George likes this, and also Nick Nicola. Again, Wilbur Paul on lead from June 56, the 5 Crowns on the Transworld record label. It's called I Can't Pretend.
I can't pretend that I don't love you or don't think of you every night. I can't pretend that I don't miss you, don't long to kiss you or hold you tight. I'm sorry for the things I've said to you. My words were so unkind. I lie awake, dreaming of you. Can't get you out of my mind. So darling, please try to believe me. If you should leave me, my life would end. Oh, can't you see that I'm not playing? I'm only saying I can't pretend. I'm sorry for the things I've said to you. My words were so unkind. I lie awake, dreaming of you. Can't get you out of my mind. So darling, please try to believe me. If you should leave me, my life would end. For can't you see that I'm not playing? I'm only saying I can't
As going out to Darrell Letts there, the sound of the 5 Crowns. Wilbur Paul on lead, June 56 release. It's on the Transworld record label. I Can't Pretend. Johnny G can't pretend. I can't play bootlegs here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I so much so want to play the Cezannes. Because I love the record, but I don't have an original. Kevin Antrell, Artibus was his name. He had a copy of that, and he wanted $2,000 for a VG. I said, Kevin, I'll give you $1,000. I can't pay you $2,000 for a VG copy of the Cezannes. Pardon me. but he wouldn't he wouldn't do it. Oh well, because I love that record. I can't play it, but like I said, I can't pretend. I only play originals here. Let's continue here. Up next, a request for Sugar Bear Sterling in our YouTube chat room there. Finally get to your request, Sugar Bear. This is from November of '56, but I don't know much about this group. I think they're out of Philadelphia, mainly because it came out on the Jamie label in November of '56. It was later issued, believe it or not, with a new Jamie number in January of '62, probably because of Slim Rose maybe making the record popular again. So Jamie re-released it with a new number, but originally came out in November of '56. And there's another, it's a common group name, of course, the Inspirations. And there is Morty Kraft was involved with this record. So, but it's easy to get to Philadelphia from New York. So, not saying that this group could be from New York, because it is kind of like a Philly sound, I guess. But this is going out to Sugar Bear Sterling, November '56, the Inspirations on the Jamie label. It's called Dry Your Eyes.
Dry your eyes, don't you cry. Your true love is standing by. You must know I love you so, won't let you go. Dry your eyes, don't you cry. I love you, can't you see that you and I were meant to be? You must know I love you so, won't let you go. Dry your eyes, don't you cry. Dry your eyes, don't you cry. Don't you cry. Your true love standing by. Standing by. You must know I love you so, won't let you go. Dry your eyes, don't you cry. You must know I love you so, won't let you go. Dry your eyes, don't you
As by request for Sugar Bear Sterling, and want to say hello to Sterling's brother Stanley, who's in our YouTube chat room there. And what a great record that is, and they love that side, and we're going to play the flip side next week. Those are the Inspirations November 1956 on the Jamie label. Song entitled Dry Your Eyes. Now Marvin, is this the same group on the Apollo label? And I don't know if Ferdy Gonzalez had this together. Charlene, you may know if that was the case or not, but it could be. I didn't really compare any of the writer credits or whatnot, but again, it just says Inspirations, I think. And I think their manager, possibly, Dave Relnick. There was some talk on 45 Cat that was the group's manager. But either way, what could you say about that record? And we'll hear the flip side next week. So stay tuned. Let's continue now. We move into 1957 with a request for Rick in Philly. For the Great Drifters. This is their 13th release for the Atlantic label. Now, this tune was first recorded by the Jubilaires back in 1946, and this was also covered by the Prisonaires in 1953. Now, this is the Drifters release from October of 1957, and it features Johnny Moore on lead. This was a big number 9 record on WKBC in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. This is going out to Rick and Philly, the great Drifters from October 57 on Atlantic, and their rendition of the tune, I Know.
I know. Oh, yes, I know that you and I will never meet again. For you were meant for somebody else. Somebody else. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That night. Oh, yes, that night. That night when first we met, I fell in love with you. And now I simply can't forget. I can't forget. Oh, darling, but we'll never meet again beneath the moonlit sky. But I know that my love will follow you as the years go passing by. Oh, yes, I know that you and I will never meet again. For you were meant for somebody
That's the great sound of Johnny Moore and the Drifters there, by request for Rick in Philly, or Rick in Florida now we should say. October 57 release on the Atlantic record banner, song entitled I Know. What a great tune that is. As we continue here, we are in 1957 here with a request for Nick Nicola with this group out of New York City. It appears to be their only release. Came out on Ed Portnoy's and Stan Feldman's Ivy label. They're called the Vanguards. It's going out to Nick Nicola, November 1957. The Vanguards on the Ivy label. It's called Moonlight.
The moonlight at my window is shining with a glow.
Moonlight shining through my window tonight. Oh, I beg you, bring my loved one to me. Please, please bring her home safely to me.
Moonlight at my window is shining with a glow. Whoa, moonlight, won't you hear my plea? 'Cause my heart is bleeding, oh, repeating. Oh, shine on, bright moon. Oh, 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 oh. Moonlight at my window is shining with a glow.
That's the great sound of the Vanguards there. By request for Nick Nicola, November 57 release. Came out on the Ivy record label out of New York City, a song entitled Moonlight. Now, for you collectors out there, first presses of this have to say B.B. Butler and Orchestra on the label. And I notice, in my experience, that the promos of this play so much better than the stock copies. And that's why I really had to go for the promo copy of this. I have multiple copies. I even have the second press, but I think I have like 3 or 4 copies on Ivy. But finally, a nice copy on the DJ that plays the best. Johnny G is the completest, as I am on this next record. I think I have 4 copies of this next 45, 2 stocks and 2 promos. But anyway, we go to Chicago for this next group and a request for listener Joe Shacatano. Are you keeping cool there, Joe, by your ice box there? But this was the group's 4th overall release. Came out on Sid Nathan's Federal record label, written by the group member Jesse Stafford, but it features Johnny Chubby Jones on lead. July 1957, going out to Joe Shacatano, the 5 Chances on the Federal label. It's called My Days Are Blues for Joe.
Oh, my dear, my days are blue.
My tears are the rivers that empty in the sea. I give you all my love. Oh, do the same for me. Oh, my days are really so blue, darling, just because of you. My days are blue. My days are blue.
Oh, my dear, my days are
Poor heart just yearns for you, darling. What else can my heart do? My days are blue. My days are blue. My tears are the river that empty into the sea. Yes, I gave you all my love. Well, what do you expect of me?
Oh, my dear, my days are blue.
Yes, they wouldn't be so blue, darling, if I knew where to find you. My days are blue.
That's the great sound of the 5 Chances. 5 Chances there with Johnny Jones on lead. July 1957 release, Sid Nathan's Federal record label, My Days Are Blue. And I remember when I was buying, what was his name? Oh, I forget his name. He was selling me his records. He had an electrical business. He was going to the New Jersey record things that Tom Hartford puts together. I forget his name. He goes, Johnny, you gotta get the 5 Chances. Great 2-sided record. You gotta get it. Oh, what's his name? It'll come to me. Seymour Simon. He used to call me up and he used to tell me about all these records that were classic records from the collector time when he was buying. So he says, you got to get that record. I don't know if I eventually got one of his copies or not, but he was the one that told me about this record. And I heard it. I know I heard it on some of the stations when I was learning about the music. But anyway, that's Johnny Chubby Jones on lead. Their 3 prior releases are excellent also on States, Blue Lake, and Chance. So you got to check out the 5 chances there. I think I have another one on the PS label too. That's them also. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. Those of you tuned in on YouTube, if you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Got to get up to 630. I think it's 630. I want to get up to 630 subscribers tonight, if hopefully I'm over that. But anyway, let's move on here. On the May 7th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the Ivories on the Mercury label. The song was called Me and You. It was a female lead with male backing. Now, the female, her name is Ella Lewis. And she's also doing lead on the Flip Side, which was written by her boyfriend, and actually he formed the group. His name is Johnny Earl Jackson. And this one also, he wrote this song, Johnny Earl Jackson, along with Morty Kraft, November 1957. These are the Ivories on Mercury with Ella Lewis on lead. It's called I'm in Love.
Oh yes, I found my love today, and I'll be loving him always. I'm in love, love, my friend. Yes, I really am. Do you really, really love me? And I'm as happy as can be to know your love is just for me. I'm in love. I'm in love, love with you. This I want to say, and I'll never go away, because my love is here to stay, and I'll love you in every way. I'm in love. Now why did we part when I knew from the start that our love was meant to be? And if you give me a chance, I'll prove that our romance will last through eternity. I'm in love, love, my dear, and I dream of you, and I'll never let you go, because I love you so, and I hope you will always know that I love you.
When I first met you, baby, you looked good to me. And I said to myself, wait. Then you gave me a smile and my heart went wild. And I said, she's for me.
I'm in love, love with you. This I want to say, and I'll never go away, because my love is here to stay, and I'll love you in every way. I'm in love. I'm in love.
November 57 release on the Mercury record label. Those are the Ivories. The Ivories with Ella Lewis on lead. It's called I'm in Love, the flip side of Me and You. Now, this group would later evolve into the Ivaliers that recorded for the Buzz record label. That record, well, I think Don Folletti sold that record for over $2,000. I think I paid like $150 for my copy. I mean, I have a little bit of a crack around the label, but I could use a better copy. I was going to go for it, but when it got over $1,000, I said way too much for that record. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasures. You can't go crazy with these records. You really can, especially Johnny G can now that I'm in retirement, trying to adjust to retirement. But anyway, let's go to Brooklyn, New York with this next request from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. Now, prior to being the lead singer of this group, this lead was a member of the Wrens that recorded for George Goldner's Rama record label, and actually recorded this song for Goldner, but Goldner never released it. But when he became a member of this group called the Travelers, he decided to record it and release it on Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label. Actually, Thomas Robinson decided to release it, but it features Frank Lopez on lead, a.k.a. Frenchy Concepcion. He's the lead singer on this, and he also wrote the tune. This is from August 1957. This is by request for Matey Campboy, the Travelers on the Atlas label, and their tune called Betty Jean. Going out to Matey Campboy there. Those are the Travelers. Travelers with Frank Lopez on lead. He wrote the tune, a.k.a. Frenchy Concepcion. August 57 release on the Atlas label, The Travelers with Betty Jean. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week, I played a request for listener Ronnie Sherman on George Goldner's Gone record label. He requested the Premiers and their tune called Is It a Dream? It was listener Darrell Lett said, Johnny G, you can't file this one back unless you play the flip side. And it is a great two-sided 45 here from July 1957. Let's give a listen to the Premiers on the Gone label. This is for Darrell. It's called Valerie.
Valerie,
Those are the premieres from July 57, going out to Daryl Letts on the Gone record label, song entitled Valerie. I have another Valerie song coming up later in the show. That is for Timothy. But let's continue here. We are in 1957 with one more 45. This is from the Bronx, New York, this group. It's a request for listener Joe Shacatano. It's the debut single for this group on William Henry Miller's Acme record label. Now, after this release, they would record as Nino and the Ebb Tides. But with their first release, they were just known as the Ebb Tides. It features Antonio Nino Aiello on lead. We go back to December 1957. This is going out to Joe Shacatano. These are the Ebb Tides on the Acme label. It's called Darling, I'll Love Only You. For Joe.
My darling, it's true, I love only you. Darling, it's true, I love only you. Don't say you go, it's you are my life. I need you, so come, please be my wife. Your life, your love, are all I need. That's all I need. Tell me you care, please can't you see? Darling, be fair, I'd love you eternally. Your life, your love, I'll keep faithfully. Love you in the morning, love you in the night, see you in my dreams, dear. Wish I were holding you tight. Tell me you care, please can't you see? Darling, be fair, I love you eternally. Your life, your love, are all I need. That's all I do.
That's going out to Joe Shacatano there. Those are the Ebb Tides. Antonio Nino Aiello on lead. The Ebb Tides from December 57 on the Acme record label. Darling, I Love Only You is the name of the tune. That's the B-side. The A-side's a song called Franny Franny, a record I found at the Yonkers Raceway Flea Market for 15 cents. I gotta get some things cheaply. Can't get everything expensive. That's when it was fun finding 45s in the wild. But anyway, let's continue here. We move into 1958 with a request for Sugar Bear Sterling in our YouTube chat room. This great group out of Brooklyn, New York, had 5 releases on Jerry Winston's Onyx record label. Here is the B-side of their 5th release, written by group member Donald Haywood. He's the second tenor of the group, but it features Jerome Ramos on lead. This is with Sammy Lowe and the orchestra. This is from March 1958, The Great Velours on the Onyx label. It's called Can I Walk You Home? This is for Sugar Bear.
If I could only walk you home, so you won't have to walk alone. Please say you let me. Whoa.
When I first saw you at the dance, your eyes met mine and at a glance I knew I'd ask if I could walk you home. We danced till night, cheek to cheek. You promised love to be true. Your lips met mine, I grew weak. Then I fell in love with you. I promised love, that's all I want. A love you might have and never know. If I did not ask, if I could walk you home. We danced till night, cheek to cheek. You promised love to be true. Your lips met mine, I grew weak. Oh, then I fell in love with you. I promised her that's all I want. A love you might have and never know. If I did not ask, if I could walk you home. Please tell me, dear, if I could walk you home. Walk you
There you go. That's for Sugar Bear Sterling, the great sound of the Velours. Jerome Ramos and the Velours, March 1958. That's the B-side to Remember. Song entitled Can I Walk You Home? That one there on the Onyx record label. Did you ever notice why, if you have it on the green Onyx label, that's when MGM started, or you should say Orbit Records started to distribute the Onyx label, as Jerry Winston signed on to become their A&R man, their head guy on the new label that they were starting, Orbit Records, which had to be changed, by the way. They were sued, so they had to change the name, and they've changed it to Cub Records. But that's the reason why. And you can also get it on Orbit Records, too. I don't know if I've seen it on, Remember on Cub? I don't know if it's on the red and the black and the white Cub label, though. Don't think I've seen that. But anyway, I hope I line this one up. Sterling, don't shoot me if I did not do this, because I didn't expect this. I could line it up on turntable number 2, but not turntable number 1 for this EP. And it is a request for listener Timothy in our YouTube chat room. This is by the Five Satins. Yes, the Five Satins out of New Haven, Connecticut. But this song was never released on a 45. It was issued on this EP, and I don't even think it's a first press, but I do have a first press of the LP it came out. The LP was called The Five Satins Sing. The EP is called The Five Satins Sing Volume 3. So I have them both, but this tune written by group member Stanley Dortch. Now, I think this is Fred Paris on lead, and to be honest, I think this is a cut that they did for either they did it for Red Robin or Standard. I don't know who, because it doesn't sound like, it sounds like an earlier side, because this was released in January 58. It just doesn't sound like a January 58 record. It sounds earlier than that. So this is a request for Timothy. I was like, I don't think I have this on a 45. Is it on an LP? And I noticed that it was. But let's give it a spin here. This is from January 58. These are the Five Satins. I'm featuring it on this, the black label. That's like probably a second press. This should be on red, I'm pretty sure. But the Five Satins on Ember. This is for Timothy. It's called I'll Get Along. Hopefully I lined it up right. I did.
I wanna love, give me love. you've gone, but I'll get along somehow. Yes, it's simple to cry for someone you love, someone you so badly need. I guess I'm just a fool in love, too blind to even see. You really hurt me, made me blue. You had to say that we were through, and now you're gone, but I'll get along somehow. I wanted love, you promised love, but all you gave conversation, and now we're through, but I'll get along
As by request for Timothy, I'm telling you, that's either off of an acetate or something. That was not recorded in Al Silver's Ember Studios for that. I don't think it was, but it was interesting. That release on the Ember EP there. Fred Paris on lead, the Five Satins going out to Timothy. Released in January 58 on the EP, I'll Get Along is the name of the tune. Let's continue here in 1958. Here's a request for Kenny Mack, the group from Harlem, New York. They had four previous releases on Paul Winley's Winley record label, but their fifth release was on Winley's Cyclone label. And this one features Lenny McKay on lead from June of 1958. Give a listen to The Jesters on the Cyclone label. This is for Kenny Mack. Their classic. It's called I Laughed.
Boom, 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 boom,
Oh, how I laughed when she told me that you love me so, and then she promised never to let me go. But I just laughed at her. Did you ever see the stars at night when they fall from the sky? And I laughed. Such a funny thing it was. Oh, how she cried and I laughed. Do you remember the night I held you in my arms, and then I kissed you under the tree? I know you get a kick out of me, but I just laughed when she told me that you love me so, and never, never let me go. under the tree. I love King
June 1958, released there for the Jesters. Jesters on the Cyclone record label. I laughed there. What a cool record that is. Remember hearing that on oldies radio back in the 1970s on CBS FM. They would play it every day. I'm sure that Donald McGee hears that in his neck of the woods on the radio, I'm sure, but not here, not in New York. You got to hear it on Sirius XM, or you got to hear it on some of the oldie stations. You hear right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue now. Go out to California with a rare 45. This is a request for Josue Perez. It's on Nathaniel McCoy's Soto Play Records out of Los Angeles, California. Now, this group initially recorded as the Webbs on Soto Play, which is a 45 on my want list. I don't have that Webbs 45, but I have their second release where they changed their name to the Notemakers. Now, the lead on this was previously a member of Henry Houston and the Raindrops. His name is Moses Walker. He's the lead singer on this. This is from 1958. This is going out to Josue, the Notemakers on the Soto Play label. It's called It Hurts to Wonder. This is for Josue.
It hurts to wonder if your love is true when you're far away. Is she kissing someone new? It hurts to wonder if your love is true. Sometimes there's a doubt, but faith will guide you through. Your heart wants to believe, even though your heart may be blind. Never look for a fault in your love. If you seek, you will surely find. It hurts to wonder, but there's nothing you can do if you believe she is. Then your love is true. Ooh, ooh.
1958 release there for the Notemakers. Notemakers on the Soto Play record label. That's going out to Josue Perez. It Hurts to Wonder is the name of that tune. Let's stay in California with the flip side from last week. Played a request for Timothy. He requested the Blenders on Leon Renee's Class record label. The side was called Little Rose, the ballad. It featured Sammy Vance on lead. He's also doing lead on the flip side, which was requested by Darryl Letts. We go back to September 1958. Give a listen to the Blenders on the Class record label with their tune called My Heart's Desire. This is for Darryl.
Told you once and I'm telling you twice. You make me feel so nice whenever you let me hold your hand. You make me me feel so grand, 'cause I love you. You're my little heart, my heart desire. Whenever your lips are coming close to mine, you make me feel divine. Whenever you hold me tight, oh, my heart's in a flight, 'cause I love you. You're my little heart, my heart desire. My little darling, I love you most of all, and I want you, and I need you, so dearly and sincerely. I kiss you once, I kiss you twice, I'm in the paradise, oh, heaven is not so far away. Your kiss is here to stay, because I love you. You're my little heart, my heart desire. My little darling, I love you most of all, and I want you, and I need you, so dearly and sincerely. Oh, I give you once, oh, I give you twice, I'm in the paradise, heaven is not so far away. The kiss is here to stay, 'cause I love you. You're my little heart, my heart desire. You're my little heart, my heart desire.
As by request for Darrell Letts there, those are the Blenders. The Blenders with Sammy Vance, the song that he wrote there September 1958 on the Class record label. My Heart's Desire is the name of the tune. My Heart's Desire is to please you, the Vinyl Treasure listeners. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the like button there to show YouTube that you like tonight's show as we continue here with more requests. We got one more record out of California. It's a request for listener Nick Nicola. This is on Jake Porter's combo label. This group is called The Sharps, and this song would be picked up by Dot Records for national distribution. Let's feature the first press on the combo label. Features the great Carl White on lead. We go back to January 58. Send this one out to Nick Nicola, The Sharps on the combo label. It's called All My Love, parentheses, is Just For You.
Yes, you're gone, and I was wrong to tell you that I didn't love you so. Didn't mean a word, you know. Please come on back to me. I'll be yours rest of my day. My life is filled with misery. Oh, baby, can't you see that all my love is just for you? Whoa, whoa. You say, my dear, you ought to know that long last love never dies. So think, my dear, please change your mind. Don't leave me here to cry. Oh,
All my love is just for you. All my love is just for you.
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show by request for Nick Nicola. Those are the Sharps, Carl White and the Sharps, January 58. That one there, Jake Porter's Combo Records, All My Love, parentheses, is just for you. I have 2 copies of that 45. Lesser condition, of course, of that one. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. So let's go to Queens, New York for this next group. And last week, played a request for Daniel Kubacki. He requested the Chanters, their second release on Sid Nathan's deluxe label. It was called Row Your Boat. And Daniel also requested the flip side for this week, as well as Daryl Letts, and with features Lenny Pendergrass on lead here. We go to June of 1958. This is for Daryl and Daniel, the Chanters. The Chanters on the deluxe label. It's called Stars in the Skies.
Bo-do-do, ba-ba-ba-ba-do.
Stars in the skies, like the light in your pretty eyes. There's a pain in my heart that says, oh my darling, that we'll never part. There are stars, darling, in your eyes. They make me realize that our love was meant to be. Take a look and you will see that there are stars in the skies, like the light in your pretty eyes. There are stars, darling, in your eyes. They make me realize that our love was meant to be. Take a look and you will see that there are stars in the skies, like the light in your pretty eyes.
June 58 there for the Chanters. Larry Pendergrass on lead. That's going out to Daryl Letts and Daniel Kubacki, the Chanters, with Stars in the Sky. That's their second release on the deluxe record label. But how about a twin spin on Sid Nathan's deluxe record label? We go back to Philadelphia with a request for listener Amnon, and this song written by the bass and founding member of the group. His name is Albert Hewitt, and it features Charles Cosum on lead. It's a killer ballad by request for Amnon, August 58. These are the Swinging Phillies. The Swinging Phillies on deluxe. The song is called L-O-V-E, Love. This is for Amnon.
L-O-V-E spells love. I'm in love. That's what you yes, I'm really in love. I'm in love. I really love you, darling, with all of my heart and soul. Your love to me, dear, is the story untold. I really need you, darling, close to my heart. Say that we will never, ever part. I'm in love, that's what you told me. I'm in love, that's what you told me. I don't know, I guess you are telling me right. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, yes I do, I love you.
August 58 release there by the Swingin' Phillies. It's by request for Amnon on the deluxe record label. L-O-V-E Love is the name of the tune. Believe it or not, that was not the A-side of the 45. The A-side is a Halloween novelty called Frankenstein's Party. I would never play that until it was Halloween. So I know Daryl, not Daryl, it was Brian Korn would definitely play the flip side of that. I bet she has that record too. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Nick Nicola by the Radiance out of the Bronx, New York. It was on the Wiz label, W-I-Z-Z Records out of New York City. The song was called I'll Never Be Mean. Now, let's give a listen to the flip side before this one goes back down in the no humidity basement. It features Gil Valentin, V-A-L-E-N-T-I-N on lead. Is from December of 1957. These are the Radiants. I found this one up in the Connecticut Record Show. What is a Connecticut Record Show? Oh, I forget. It'll come to me. But I used to go to the Connecticut Record Show all the time, and that's where I found this record. The Radiants on the Wiz label. It's called Ra Cha Cha. Whoops, wrong one.
Well, I like to dance to this Latin music. It would put you in a swing by the name of Ratata. Oh, well, darling, we were meant to dance this beat. You can dance it, oh, so sweet, by the name of Ratata. To dance it there, you must learn to rock it there. You must learn to rock your rock. Well, darling, we were meant to dance this beat. You can dance it, oh, so sweet, by the name of Ratata. To dance it there, you must learn to rock it there. You must learn to rock your rock. Oh, well, I like to dance to this Latin music by the name of Ratata. Ratata.
Ra-cha-cha.
Ratata. Ratata. Ole.
December 1958, release there for The Radiance. The Radiance on the Wiz record label as we all cha-cha to the Ra-cha-cha. Let's continue now. We are in 1958. Up next, a request for my number one California listener, Matey Campboy, and it's the debut single for this singer, supposedly from New Jersey, and I read somewhere that his real name was Sammy Bratcher, who gets writer credit on this tune, but he recorded as Bobby Long, and this was his debut single that came out on the Arrow label. Now it says on the label here, in arrangement with Glow Hill Records, because after this release he would have 3 on the Glow Hill label, so they probably recorded him and they shopped this out to the Arrow record label for release. That's the way I think, that's the way I see it. But anyways, from February 58, this is going out to Matey Campboy, Bobby Long on the Arrow label. It's called By My Side for Matey.
Telling me that you are coming home, just sitting and waiting. Ever since you phoned, you don't know how you hurt me. You know you told a lie. You broke my poor heart. That's the reason why you got me rocking and reeling.
Going out to Matey Campboy there. Bobby Long, his debut single from February 58 on the Arrow label, song entitled By My Side. He recorded about 15 singles between the years 1958 and 1970. Now after this one, 3 were on the Glow Hill label. I featured the song Hold Me. I think George Tompkins requested that one. Yes, Darrell, he also has one on the Unart label, but he has others as he continued into the early 1960s, more soulful sound for Bobby Long. Let's continue here on the 50s and early 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. We head to Mount Vernon, New York with a request for Timothy, And we heard a song, Valerie, earlier by a group called The Premiers, where here is another song by the name of Valerie, as done by the Mellow Kings. They had 9 releases for Al Silver's Herald label between the years 1957 and 1961. This is their 4th, a tune written by Paul Evans. Yes, Paul Evans of Seven Little Girls fame. It features Bob Scholl on lead. We go back to March 58. This is for Timothy, the Mellow Kings on Herald, and their tune called Valerie.
Valerie, 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 ooh, yeah, yeah. Valerie, my heart's on fire. Valerie, with such desire. What would I do if we were through? I would die. Valerie,
As going out to Timothy, the Mellow Kings there. Bob Scholl on lead with the Mellow Kings, March 1958 on the Herald label. Song entitled Valerie. I don't know if there's, well, I think there's other songs called Valerie. There's actually quite a few, I think. But Kenny Mac's asking me to do an all-girls names, I think. That would be really easy. I would probably need more than 3 hours to do that. But it's a thought. It's a thought when Johnny G gets finally organized, now that I'm in retirement. But let's continue here. We move into 1959 as we go back to Brooklyn, New York for this flip side from last week, as I featured a request for Tom Shaughnessy. Wanted to hear the Fascinators. Fascinators, their second of 3 for the Capitol label, played Who Do You Think You Are, but couldn't file this one back without spinning the flip side with Tony Pasalacqua on lead. We go back to January 1959. These are the Fascinators on the Capitol label and their tune called Come to Paradise.
Boom, boom, chickie, wow, wow, boom, chickie, boom, chickie, wow, wow, boom, chickie, wow, wow, boom. Well, come and dream with me through all eternity. Come and dream with me. You know that I love you so. There's so much
Those are the Fascinators, Tony Pasalacqua and the Fascinators. January 1959 release, came out on the Capitol record label. Song entitled Come to Paradise is probably one of their more harder records to find. You can find Chapel Bells and, well, Rosemarie's another one. It's not so easy to find, but this one seems to be the hardest. You can find like the second press of it, but it's hard to find the original on this. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to Los Angeles, California. This is a request for Evan Blatt. Haven't seen Evan this evening, but he'll have to tune in on the archive for this. This group's first release came out on Leon Renee's Class record label. They followed it up with this release on Sylvester Cross's Crest label. This one came out in July of 1959. I'm talking about the classics. Billy Young is on lead for this one. The classics from on Crest. It's called Let Me Dream. This is for Evan. That's a great California sound going out to Evan Blatt, the classics. July 59 release on the Crest label, Let Me Dream. What a cool tune that is. Let's continue here. Three more in 1959. Let's go to the Bronx, New York for this duo. Now, on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured their third release on High Weiss's Old Town record label. I think Mady requested that. It was called Don't Do It. This week, Timothy requested their ninth release, written by the duo. They are Robert Carr and Johnny Mitchell. This charted. This was a number 5 record on WINE out of Buffalo, New York. We go back to April 1959. This is by request for Timothy, Robert, and Johnny on the Old Town record label. It's called Dream Girl.
I want you
Duos here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Robert Carr and Johnny Mitchell going out to Timothy. April 59 release. High Weiss's Old Town record label. Dream Girl is the name of that one. We stay in 1959 with a request for Sugar Bear Sterling for this group out of Greensboro, North Carolina. This 45 first issued on Orville Campbell's Campbell label in November of 1959. Then a month later, for whatever reason, they released it on the Colonial label, and the group is called Alan and the Flames, and Alan is Alan Collins, Colontz, and he also plays lead guitar here with the group. This is from November 1959. Alan and the Flames. This is for Sterling on the Campbell label. It's called Till the End of Time.
Till the end of time, you'll always be mine. Till the end of the line, you'll always be mine. I love you, it's true, till the end of time. Many nights I dream of a love for you. Many things will change with a happiness that's true. So darling, be mine till the end of time. Darling, don't you know our love will never go? Darling, can you see you're only meant for me? As the years pass by, I sit and wonder why that a girl I've known will suddenly be my own. So darling, be mine till the end of time. Darling, don't you know our love will never go cold? Oh darling, can't you see you were only meant for me? Of time, you'll always be mine. Till the end of the line, you'll always be mine. I love you, it's true, till the end of time.
As going out to Sugar Bear Sterling, that's Alan and the Flames. Featured on the First Press Campbell record label out of Greensboro, North Carolina, November 59 release. Till the End of Time was second pressed on the Colonial label. One more in 1959, and it's a request for Joe Shacatano. This group is out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Their debut single was a song called 17 Steps. Came out on the Lucky 7 label in March of 59. This one released in August 59. It's their follow-up. It features Charles Perrywell on lead. This group is called The Fairlanes. The Fairlanes from August 59 on the Dart label. It's called Just For Me. This is for Joe.
You were made just for me. Oh, my darling, can you see? You were made for me. Oh, my love.
They're called the Fairlanes, going out to Joe Shacatano, their August 1959 release on the Dart label. Song entitled Just For Me. They would have one more release on the TikTok label in 1961. I think it was Charles Perrywell and the Fairlanes. I have that 45. Have to feature it here on a future show. We move into 1960 now as we head to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with a request for Amnon. He requested the Four Seasons, but not the Frankie Valli group. This is a totally different group. This group first recorded for the Alana label. They had 3 releases on the Alana label, but this was their overall final release on Lou Guarino and Lenny Martin's Robbie record label. This one came out in September of 1960. It features Dan McGuinness on lead. It's going out to Amnon, the other Four Seasons, from September 1960 on the Robbie label. The song is called Mirage.
Baudelaire, was it a dream? Ooh, just like a dream. Ooh, why does it seem like a mirage? Whoa, like a mirage. I saw her there. Ooh, standing over there. Ooh, I walked on air. Ooh, to my mirage. Whoa, to my mirage.
I went to the dance, and there I met the girl of my dreams. Boom, boom. But all too soon that night was ended, and now she's gone. Where will I find my mirage?
Always on my mind. Ooh, ever on my mind. Ooh, will I ever find? Ooh, my mirage. Whoa, my mirage.
September 1960 release, going out to Amnon there, the other Four Seasons group on the Robbie record label out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Song entitled Mirage. Let's continue here. Here's a request for Nick Nicola. I have no info on this group. They're called the Holidays. I don't think they're the same Holidays that recorded for the Robbie label. I think that was a Pittsburgh group. This is a different group. Maybe this group is out of New York, but they have this release on the Andy record label now. Nick requested both sides of this 45. We're going to hear this side tonight on the Andy label. I think Andy Records eventually morphed into Rust Records, if I'm not mistaken, but it's from January 1960. These are the Holidays, going out to Nick Nicola on the Andy label. It's called Who Knows, Who Cares? This is for Nick.
I wanna know what the because I care for you. Everything that you do, I laugh and cry and share will I with you. I never knew such devotion. I never cared with such heart. Tell me you feel, darling, that we'll never part. No, who cares? How can you ask when you know what is true? You know who knows, you know who cares for you. I
Like that one there in the YouTube chat room. Those are the Holidays, requested by Nick Nicola, January 1960 release on the Andy label. Who knows? Who cares? Johnny G cares every Saturday from 9 to midnight right here on YouTube, where I'll be joining the Oldies and More radio network in 5 minutes, so stay tuned for that. Got a little bit more here to go here, so it should be done within the next 30 minutes here. But here's a request for listener Timothy, as this 45 was released in November of 1990. Yes, on Dave Antrell's Classic Artist label. Now, Dave Antrell was on a mission to find original members of groups, vocal groups that he admired, and that he would have them record in the current time, and that would be late 80s, early 90s. And it's this one's on, it's a song that Dave Antrell wrote specifically for the Cleftones, and it features the late Herbie Cox on lead. This is requested by Timothy from November of 1990. That was the release date. These are the Cleftones featuring Herbie Cox on lead. It's on Classic Artists. It's called You Lost the Game of Love. This is for Timothy.
You pledged to love me right from the start. Now you're alone with your broken heart.
You swore you'd be faithful, and everybody knew you were unable, and I stayed so true. You played to win, but you lost the
That's the late Herbie Cox and the Cleftones there, released in November of 1990 there on Dave Antrell's Classic Artists record label. That sounds like another record I'm trying to place that he just wrote different lyrics to that tune. But anyway, that's going out to Timothy. The Cleftones with You Lost the Game of Love is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we go back to Chicago, Illinois, with a request for Amnon and the debut single for a group called Z Majestics. That's the name of the group. This one came out on the local Fox label, and it was written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Eddie Dunn. So this is going out to Amnon, September 1960 release for Z Majestics on the Fox label. The tune is called Bobby Ann for Amnon.
My love for you, I just cannot bear. It feels like the melody that flows through the air. Bobby Ann, Bobby Ann, you make me so
That's going out to Amnon there. Z Majestic, September 1960 release on the Fox record label out of Chicago, Illinois. Song entitled Bobby Ann. Eddie Dunn on lead there. Now, Eddie Dunn became the lead singer of The Trends. They had releases on the Smash record label and also ABC Paramount Records. And I think this Fox label would eventually become the Foxy label out of Chicago, Illinois. I want to welcome in the Oldies and More Radio Network here to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show, spinning original vinyl 45s out of my collection. We do it every Saturday night from 9 to midnight. We are in overtime now, and I'm broadcasting live on YouTube with the visual, but also we get the stream coming in live on Oldies and More Radio beginning at midnight. We are in overtime here. Here's a request for Sugar Bear Sterling for this group that was discovered by band leader Al Brown. And this is one of his masters he sold to Lost Night Records, as he did with lots of his master tapes, especially in the early 1960s with the first revival of the music. A lot of those things released on the Vintage label. They're all all cool masters that he had in his closet, and we were able to get them from Vintage Records. I forget who owned Vintage Records, somebody out in California, I think. And they come on all cool colored vinyl presses too, which is pretty cool. But this 45 also came out on the Zara label. That was the second press for it. It was first pressed on Lost Night Records, and it's a request for Sterling from 1961. Give a listen to the Veltones playing it on Lost Night Records. It's called I Need You So. This is for Sterling. That's going out to Sugar Bear Sterling there. Those are, I'm losing my place. Those are the Veltones. Veltones from 1961, group discovered by Al Brown. That is his orchestra backing the group up. Featured it on the first press. The Lost Night record label was also pressed on the Zara label. I Need You So is the name of the two. Now, there is only difference in the two records is the dash. The Zara has the VEL dash tones. That is not the case on the Lost Night records, and the stampers are exactly the same in both of the presses. So the Lost Night release is the first press. We continue here in Vinyl Treasure Overtime. We are in 1961. Now, last week I played a request for Tom Shaughnessy by the Vels, a group from Vicksburg, Mississippi. The Vels played the A-side called Please Be Mine, and Tom also wanted the flip as well as Nick Nicola and Darrell Letts. This one from September 1961, the Vels on the Trebco label. It's called Mysterious Teenage. Did they leave the R off? Mysterious Teenage. This is going out to Nick, Darrell, and Tom.
Mysterious teenage, mysterious girl. She don't even know me.
I knew they dropped it says Mysterious Teenage on the label, but they sing Mysterious Teenagers. It didn't sound, it sounds better that way. Yes, it does. There you go, September 61. That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy, Nick Nicola, Daryl Letts, the Vells on the Trebco label. Mysterious Teenager is what it should be. As we continue here in the overtime, we go to Harlem, New York, as we are in 1961 now. We go to Harlem, New York with this request for Emnon. The group had only one release, came out on the Bud label. Bud Records is out of Woodside, New York. The tune co-written by the lead singer. His name is Howard Wallace. This one released in August of 1961. They're called the Eldores. The Eldores on the Bud record label. It's called Nights of Ecstasy. This is for Emnon.
Though it seems like years ago, it was just yesterday. I know you left me in misery, took those nights of ecstasy. I miss you, yes I do. If you were only here to see, my darling, how I miss those nights of ecstasy.
Wow, haven't played that in a long, long time. Those are the Eldores. That's going out to Emnon, the group out of Harlem, New York, August 1961 on the Bud record label. Nights of Ecstasy is the name of the tune. Howard Wallace on lead. Isn't it always ecstasy here on the Vinyl Shredder Show? You get to hear these cool 45s, and you get to see them too. Those of you listening on Oldies and More Radio, you can't see them. You got to get the visual to get the full experience of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's continue here as we go to Amityville, New York, with a request for Sugar Bear Sterling for this group called the Universals, one of the many groups by the same name. It features Fred Miller on lead. Now, this charted number 24. This was a number 24 record on KYA out in San Francisco, California. We go back to September 1961. The Universals, Fred Miller on lead on the Festival label. It's called I'll Just Have to Go On. That's in parentheses. And then the song is called Dreaming. This is for Sugar Bear. That's going out to Sugar Bear Sterling, the Universals there, Fred Miller on lead. September 1961, I'll Just Have to Go On. That's in parentheses, Dreaming on the Festival record label. The flip side is a cool up-tempo called Lovebound, been requested by a few there in the chat room. And for you collectors out there, the true first presses of this are on the aqua blue purple color labels. The light gray color labels distributed by King. Those are the second issues of this 45. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Joe Shacatano by The Values out of California on the Invicta label. A nice rendition of the Dean Martin tune, Return to Me. And this group also recorded as the Calendars on the Chattahoochee record label. That's a great record, You Don't Fall in Love. I'll have to pull that one out to play. But let's flip over that Invicta for the up-tempo side. And this one, again, produced and arranged by Skip Batten. This one from August 62 now. We move into 62. Give a listen to The Values on Invicta. It's called That's the Way. That sounds like another record. I just can't place it, but is it the Ribbons, Blue Ribbon Baby? Maybe that sounds like. Does that sound like Blue Ribbon Baby, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, those are The Values there, August 1962 on the Invicta record label. Song entitled That's the Way. We are in 1962 as we wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back to Detroit now, to Devorah Brown's Fortune record label for the Earthquakes. And they have 3 on the Fortune label. This is their third, and it's a request for a Josue Perez, a tune written by the lead singer for the group. His name is Orlando King. And believe it or not, this 45 plays so much better with a 78 needle, so I just changed it. Actually, it hit my other turntable. You might have heard a little glitch there on the last record. But this one's from March 62. On the Pink Fortune label. This is Orlando King and the Earthquakes going out to Josue Perez. The song is called Look What You Done. This is for Josue.
Somebody new.
March 1962 release there, Orlando King with the Earthquakes there on Devorah Brown's Fortune record label. That's going out to Josue Perez. Song entitled Look What You Done, slightly off-center. Didn't have time to play around with it. Anyway, let's continue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with a request for Matey Campboy. Now, this group made its debut on the Robbie record label back in '61. And this is their final release on the Liberty label, the tune written by the lead singer. His name is Frank Avery, produced by Clyde Otis. This is going out to Matey, March 62, the Laurels on Liberty Records. It's called I Guess I'll Never Stop Loving You for Matey.
Day in, day out, night in and night out, I've tried.
I've tried and tried to forget you. I've cried and cried. Lord, I wish I'd never met you.
Because
Day in and day out, night in and night out, I've tried. I guess I'll never stop loving you. Lord, 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 pains in my heart. Lord, won't leave me right from the start. Should've known you'd breathe me. Day in and day out and night in and night out. I guess I'll never stop loving you. Sometimes I wonder if you ever think about me, or is misery sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I get the blues so bad, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll never stop loving you. Tried and tried to hold you. Lord, I wish I'd never met you. Day in and day out, night in and night out, I guess I'll never stop loving you. Sometimes I wonder, Lord, I guess I'll never stop loving you.
As by request from our number one California listener, Matey Campboy, the Laurels from March 62 on the Liberty record label, I Guess I'll Never Stop Loving You. Cool tune there. As we continue here, we are in 1962. Up next, a request for Rick in Philly, as this quintet, they're from Cleveland, Ohio, first recorded for the Mercury label as the Five Quails back in 1957. Then in the early 60s, a few of the group members relocated to Detroit, added a new lead singer when they signed with Harvey Fuqua's Harvey record label. Rick requested the group's first release. It features Harold Sudbury on lead. This is from March 62. These are the Five Quails, later recording as just the Quails on the Harvey label, and their tune called Been a Long Time. This is for Rick.
It's been a long, long time that I wanted to hold you close. Yes, I long just to
hold you close, hold you close.
It's been a long, long time. Whoa, it's been a long, long time that I wanted to kiss your sweet lips. Yes, I long just to
kiss you once, kiss you twice.
It's been a long, long time.
I've been
All over the world, searching for someone like you.
well, you know all
Much to my surprise,
came into my view.
Well, it's been a long, long time that I wanted to hold you close. Yes, I long just to
hold you close, hold you close.
It's been a long time since I
Hold you close, hold you close.
and I long just to
Kiss you once, kiss you twice.
whoa,
Hold you close, hold you close.
yeah.
Kiss you once, kiss you twice.
As going out to Rick and Philly, the Five Quails. Five Quails from March 62. That's their first release on the Harvey record label. Harold Sudbury, the lead singer there, been a long time. The name of the tune with their next two releases they recorded as the Quails. 3 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go back to New Haven, Connecticut this time for the Nutmegs. And in the early 1960s, Slim Rose, the owner of Times Square Records, he was able to get a bunch of a cappella recordings by the group and issue them on his Times Square record label, but some of those masters came with music accompaniment. And here's one requested by Matey Campboy. This was first issued in June of 63 on the Times Square record label. I have a copy of the reissued on the Relic record label from 1965. That's how I have it. It features Leroy Griffin on lead. These are the Nutmegs by request for Matey Campboy. I have it on the Relic record label. It's called The Way Love Should Be. This is for Matey.
Some people say it would never be love, but I want. Some people say it was one of the love that I want.
Long, long ago I fell in love.
love should be.
Now that you're gone, I'm so alone. And won't you forget and come back home? For if your desire should turn to me,
For it's just the way love should be.
Those are the Nutmegs. The Nutmegs there going out to Matey Campboy. 1965 release there on the the Relic record label, originally released on Times Square Records in June of 1963. Leroy Griffin on lead, The Way Love Should Be. Two more 45s to go before we sign off here. And up next, a special request and dedication, because Rick in Philly is back in Johnny G's chat room. He was tuning in on the archive for the last, what was it, Rick, a couple months maybe, really? But he requested this record and wants to send it out to Matey Campboy. It's a duo out of Los Angeles, California on Kim Fowley's Chart record label. And Kim claimed that this duo are nephews of Jesse Belvin. So here are Robert and Bobby, and this is a request from Rick in Philly, dedicated to Matey Campboy from January 1963. Give a listen to Robert and Bobby on the Chart record label. The tune is called Once Upon a Time, for Rick and Matey.
Once upon a time, her love was mine, all mine. Years ago, it seemed, oh, I wasn't in my dream. A fool will learn when love walked in, it's too late. So I'll hope and pray she'll forgive me someday.
There you go, special request and dedication there. Requested by Rick in Philly, dedicated to Matey Campboy, Robert and Bobby there, January 1963, on the Chart record label. That's Kim Fowley's Chart record label, by the way. A song entitled Once Upon a Time. Now, this group, I guess what would happen is that Fowler would introduce them to Capitol record producer Nick Vinette, who would record this duo as the Uniques with a release on the Capitol label back in 1963. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to original vinyl 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If I have the 45, I'll play it for you here on a Saturday evening from the 1950s or early 60s, as it's a lot of fun for me to play the 45s. I can't do instant requests, Chipper, but I can do requests if you send them to me in advance. I got to find the records if I have them, but I usually have a lot of them. There's very few that I don't have. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in this evening, and I'll be back next Saturday night again at 9 p.m., 9 to 11 p.m. No, 9 to midnight. Where am I going 11 p.m.? I'm getting confused with Monday night. 9 to midnight on YouTube, and then we join the Oldies and More Radio Network beginning at midnight. But I will be back Monday evening on Oldies and More Radio and also live on the YouTube with my 1960s. So if you like all 60s 45s, especially soul music, tune in on Monday evening beginning at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 p.m. right here on Oldies and More and also on YouTube. And if you're new to the program, you're just finding me out here on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click the bell to get notifications when Johnny G will be live. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. The closer tonight is from my number one California listener, Matey Campboy. This lead singer of this group, she first sang with a group called the Vestels on the Decca label back in 1958, and you may know the song. It was called Come Home. We move up 6 years later to 1964. She was the lead singer of a group called The Dreams. Her name is Darnell Jessame, and she became the lead singer of The Dreams as Darnell and The Dreams. This is on the West Side record label by request for Matey Campboy from 64. Darnell and The Dreams on West Side Records. It's called The Day Before Yesterday. That's the closer for tonight. That's going to do it for Johnny G. I have to go relax as I get prepared for the Monday night show. Thank you all for tuning in again. Hope you enjoyed the tunes tonight. I'll see you either Monday night or next Saturday night right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long. This is for Matey.
Boom, boom, boom. Baby, baby, we could have some fun. Baby, baby, we could have some fun.
The day before yesterday, I received a letter, and this is what he said. He told me that he loved me, and
Okay, folks, Johnny G is back. Let me show you this record. I picked this record up locally. I think this group is out of Westchester County, New York, if I'm not mistaken. I had to double check. I didn't want to say it, but here it is, Darnell and the Dreams. There you go. Darnell and the Dreams, The Day Before Yesterday. There you see it. I still got to play around with that webcam. It's not since my father had the whatever. But anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Tell your friends about it. I wonder if I got my 630 subscriber tonight. So if you didn't subscribe, be my 630th subscriber as we try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, hopefully before. But anyway, thank you all. I'll see many of you Saturday night. Again, if you like 60s soul music, you want to tune in then. But again, send your request to vinyltreasures@aol.com. And everybody enjoy the remainder of the week. It's kind of hot here, too hot for Johnny G. But anyway, stay cool, stay well, and stay safe. So long, everybody. Bye-bye.